Welcome back, guys. This is the King of Weebs here, and this is what if Naruto was the god of death. We begin this way with Naruto being born as per normal. However, he is not the only child here. He's actually the child. He's actually, the second twin, as he would have an older brother here called Menma, and anywho now. As the two are born, Naruto is taken by Minato to actually seal away the Nantos. Kushina would be dying in this wave. However, Minato would not use the Reaper Death Seal and use a different, stronger jutsu that he created on his own, and he would split the Nantos. Well, he wouldn't split the Nantos. He would split it into 4 quarters and seal 1 quarter into Kushina to make her live, and Naruto would get the rest of it. Now, Naruto obviously would still have parents in this wave, and he would have an older brother called Menma. Anywho, now the attack on the leaf would still happen as per normal, and many people would still lose their life, and this made the people hate Naruto. Although Minato, found out that he's one of his sons will be the child of prophecy, as told by Jiraiya, and he would announce this to the Leaf Village. Everyone would influence Minato into thinking that it's actually Menma, and that's why everyone, obviously Minato would actually believe that it's Menma too. Anywho, now Naruto would would grow up pretty normally for the first 2 years of his life, and then eventually Minato and Kushina would actually begin ignoring him, as they would focus mostly on Menma's training and development, especially because he was considered the child of prophecy by everyone. Naruto would realize, as he is quite smart, that his parents don't really care about him. No one really cares about him in the village, and that's why he started distancing himself before he got too close to anyone to be heartbroken, although he was already heartbroken after, seeing his parents just leave him for Menma, although they're both siblings. Now, Naruto is now 3 years old, and he has been ignored by his parents for most of the past year, and it would be their 3rd birthday, as Menma would be celebrating with all of his friends, especially for the clan heads and the clan children, basically Shikamaru, Sasuke, Tsuki, and Ino, everyone basically. Naruto would just be there in the corner, just being ignored by most people and just not caring at all. After a while, obviously, Menma would be announced to be the next clan head of both the Namikaze and Uzumaki, clan. Although the Uzumaki clan, it's not like, Kushina was the head of it anyway. And the only Namikaze we really truly know about is Minato, unless you guys know of a different Namikaze that I'm not aware of, and you can tell me in the comments below. But anyways, now, obviously, Naruto would not really care about this, because he doesn't care about his family right now, especially because of how they've been treating him for the past few months. Anyways, now the night would end with Naruto actually starting to walk out of the Namikaze compound, and as he realized that he's no longer welcome here. And anyways, now Tsuki would notice that a blonde kid would just walk out of the room, and she would actually follow along, as Itachi would notice Tsuki leaving with Naruto and while following Naruto, and he would follow pursuit too, as he didn't want his sibling to get hurt. And anyways, now Naruto would be heading towards the forest, and Tsuki would continue following until Naruto encountered a bunch of villagers who were drunk and celebrating Menma's birthday as well, as this was like not a national, but like a bank holiday for the whole village. And anyways, now obviously now these villagers would see Naruto, and they would go and attack Naruto, as Naruto obviously didn't know what to do other than running. And anywho now Naruto, he was running away, and Itachi would see that Tsuki was scared, and she told her older brother, and obviously Itachi had come a bit later, around like 2-3 minutes after, and but this time Naruto was already in the forest getting tortured. And anywho, now remember Naruto's only 3 years old, and obviously Itachi would, after he was told by Tsuki what happened, Itachi would instantly go into action. Although Itachi is only 8, he would, find Naruto instantly. Remember, Itachi is a prodigy, and these were normal, like, and the one shinobi, they were like, if they were shinobi, they were really low, and really low rank shinobi, genin in fact. And it was mostly villagers, and Itachi was able to actually scare them off with the Sharingan. And by the time he actually arrived, the state that Naruto was in pretty critical state, as these villagers had no mercy upon Naruto. They just wanted to kill him instantly, and Itachi would rush Naruto to the hospital, and pretty much the hospital would do something about him, and he would be left in that state for the next 2-3 weeks. Naruto, during that time, he was in a comatose state where he actually found himself in his own mindscape, and the Narutos would be there waiting for him. As when Naruto actually arrived, the Narutos looked at him and ruled at him. However, Naruto, after what he experienced, he couldn't feel anything after that. He didn't feel pain, he didn't feel fear. He was just there, just looking at him. Although he realized why the village hates him so much, and Naruto just looks down and decides to sit down and just although he doesn't feel anything, there's just tears streaming down his face, but he doesn't know why. He doesn't feel sad or anything. And then Naruto's obviously realizes that Naruto's not feeling sad, although he's crying, and he would ask him, "What's wrong, kid? You're a weird one, that." Naruto just then looks at him and says, "I don't know how you're not crying. You went through this for multiple, hundreds of years. How can you deal through? How can you deal with this?" And obviously, the Naruto scoffs, saying that Naruto's just weak. If he was, strong as the Naruto's, he would basically, never cry again. And Naruto asks the Naruto's, how can he ever get strong as him? And the Naruto laughs maniacally, saying that he'll never be as strong as him. And Naruto just looks down. However, a voice that terrified even the Narutos spoke out, saying that that's not true. This kid will be something different, someone that is feared amongst everybody, not just this village, but the whole entire shinobi world. This child would be his my reincarnation, and you won't say anything about it, Naruto's. As the figure now appears, and the Shinigami basically appears, and however, the Shinigami wasn't in its normal state, the one that you see when they use the Reaper Death Seal, but the Shinigami looked, it wasn't like a human form. However, his clothes were tattered, and his aura just gave off death. And the Naruto's for the first time cowered, as the only time he is ever cowered like that was in front of his own father, when he would asserted dominance. And anyhow, now Naruto would look back and he wouldn't feel scared at all. And this is actually Naruto awakening the Shinigami's personality, as the Shinigami has no feelings. He doesn't get hurt, and he's something extraterrestrial. There's something out of this world, something that is divine, something that humans cannot achieve. He is a god, basically. Naruto looks at him and asks him what's a reincarnation, and the Shinigami just smiles and says that you'll understand once I explain to you who you truly are. As the Shinigami would go and explain how he chose Naruto, one who is destined to be treated like trash for most of his life, and one who will become one of the greats of the shinobi world, and as his vessel. And Naruto will be the next god of death, as basically he goes on to tell Naruto how who he is and what he can do, and why Naruto doesn't feel anything right now, because he's going through the stages of developing, and becoming the the Shinigami. Anyways, now Naruto would still be kind of confused. However, he would understand that the Shinigami would make him understand that he's something great, and to always look up on the bright side and never look down on himself. And that Nine Tails, he was lying. You will become stronger than even the Sage of Six Paths. The Nine Tails will cower in front of you. In fact, he will be one of your allies. As then he looks at the Nine Tails and shows him his true strength, and Naruto now can actually feel the presence of the Shinigami, because the Shinigami is now showing a fraction of its power, as Naruto would be on one knee from just the presence of the Shinigami's, from just a fraction of the Shinigami's chakra coming out, and the Shinigami would realize that Naruto is getting affected by the suit, and he stops. However, the Nine Tails, who was just standing there and roaring at the Shinigami, saying that he's not stronger than the Sage of Six Paths, and the Shinigami says, "Do you want me to prove it, Nine Tails?" As he basically breaks the cage of the Nine Tails and pushes him back, as the Nine Tails thought that was impossible unless the seal was broken, but clearly he was able to do so, and in fact he actually did break the seal at the same time as he did that, and the Nine Tails tried to take over Naruto's body, and as the chakra started boiling around Naruto, and even in the outside this was showing, and the doctors and nurses were just scared of Naruto at this point. However, obviously Minato would arrive and see that Naruto's body is being controlled by the Nine Tails. However, it would just suddenly stop as the Shinigamis basically subdued the Nine Tails, and he would basically use wood release to do so, as he would put up two fingers and basically trap the Nine Tails, and the Shinigami would make it so that the seal outside would still look like it's there. However, it's actually broken in reality, and Minato would look at Naruto's seal and he would see that it's still there, and it was just a phenomenon that just happens with Jinchuriki. That's what he assumes. He asks Kushina, and she says that once it did happen, something like this did happen, and it was actually the Nine Tails trying to take over. However, she was able to control it, and clearly Naruto was able to control himself from being controlled by the Nine Tails, but that might be because Naruto is unconscious right now. A week later, Naruto would wake up, and the nurses and doctors would just be scared, as Naruto would just stand up and it would just break through the window and just go off on his own, as Naruto realized that he has a lot more strength than he had before. However, he was left with scars that were never going to leave him for the rest of his life and would remain there with him until the day he dies. But anyway, now Naruto would begin training, as Tsuki would find out that Naruto has left, as she was going to visit, and she would actually find Naruto training, and Naruto's training was rigorous. It was full of exercises which Naruto didn't take breaks in between, and Tsuki was just mesmerized as Naruto would continue training and becoming stronger. This continued for 3 weeks straight, where Naruto didn't even get out of the forest, just training and training. And you're probably asking, where does he get his food from? Naruto would hunt, and Tsuki would actually leave him lunches here and there, as she would continue watching him. And eventually, after a few years passed, Naruto continued doing this kind of training until he was the age of 6. 3 years later, as Menma would actually have learned the Rasengan, as he's a prodigy, and he would be close to finally learning some Fuinjutsu, as he's been trying to learn some for the past 6 months. And when he does become a seal master, he can start learning the flying Raijin. Naruto would begin actually training with this chakra, as the Nine Tails would just look at how strong Naruto is getting, and he'd actually be very impressed by Naruto, because although he's just a child, and even if he's the reincarnation of the god of death, really Naruto shouldn't be able to do so much. And this is mostly because Naruto wants to be acknowledged by everybody. He doesn't want to kill anyone. He doesn't hate the villagers for what they've done to him. In fact, he actually appreciates them, because thanks to that he actually met someone who believes in him. And the Naruto realizes what Naruto's feeling, and he would talk to Naruto and say, you know, Naruto, you appreciating the villagers isn't something that you should be doing. Those guys wanted you dead. And Naruto says, you know, but if they didn't want me dead, I wouldn't have met you and the, you know, the Shinigami. As the Naruto would give him a smile, and the Naruto's would be taken aback. And anyways, now Naruto would one day ask the Naruto's what his name was, and the Naruto's would actually give it to Naruto, saying that his name is Kurama. And Naruto would say, that's a really nice name, maybe I should start calling you that. And the Kurama would just scoff and just go back to sleeping. And anyways, now Tsuki would have been training for the past 3 years as well, as she realized that, you know, if Naruto's training this hard, why shouldn't she be training this hard? And she wants to be a ninja in the future as well. This caused Sasuke to also train as well, as he wanted the acknowledgement from his father, as both Tsuki and Itachi were prodigies. And then now, obviously Sasuke is a prodigy as well, but he has to work a lot more to catch up to them, because he actually started a bit later. He was mostly like hanging out with his friends. And then now, obviously, no one really knows where Naruto has been ever since, you know, he got out the hospital, other than Tsuki. Naruto doesn't even go home anymore. He's been outside for a while, and most of his clothes have been teared apart from the training. Naruto realizes that maybe it's time for him to actually get some clothes. However, he realizes that he doesn't have money, and as he was walking down the pathway, he would actually bump into Tsuki, who was actually coming to watch him. And Naruto says, I know you've been watching me for a while, and thank you for all the food you've been giving to me, but I have a request of you. Do you think you can help me get a few new clothes? And Tsuki was, you know, actually very excited by this, because this was the first time Naruto has ever talked to her. And then now, obviously, they would introduce each other, themselves to each other. And now, Naruto and Tsuki would become great friends, as you know, they talked for a while, and eventually Naruto and Tsuki would just be training together, and Tsuki would gain a lot of experience from this, in fact becoming very strong. And now, Naruto and Tsuki continued training together like this for the next 2.5 years, which would bring them, 2 years, not and a half, 2 years, as now they would be at the age of 8. And Naruto, thanks to Tsuki, started learning a lot more jutsus, and Tsuki would actually teach him a lot of jutsus as well, as Naruto has every chakra nature known to man, and but Tsuki only has 3: fire, water, and wind. Also lightning, sorry, four, sorry. Anywho now, once they joined the academy, Naruto would actually not try as much as he should. He would actually listen to Iruka, and Iruka would actually really like Naruto. Naruto was actually the good kid, well, the good one out of the 2 siblings, as Menma would be very, aggressive towards Naruto, and you know, he would also be very, he would look down on Naruto, as Menma would be like considered the child of prophecy and a prodigy, which is you know, what everyone believes. And Tsuki would actually always protect Naruto from Menma, as Menma would actually have a crush on her. And now, obviously, Naruto would just ignore Menma most of the times, and he'll just go on with his own life, as he's just there to learn, and he learns a lot. He actually becomes one of the smartest kids there. However, he never really tries in exams, which kind of, you know, makes Iruka sad. And one day after school, he would actually ask Naruto, like, why does he not try in exams? He seems smart, he is smart, he knows that he's smart, and he believes that Naruto has the potential to become a splendid shinobi. However, he just never tries. Why? Naruto says that there's no point of showing off it during the academy. It's all about the last exam, the last written exam, and the last, you know, practical exam. And Iruka understands where Naruto's coming from, but he still wants Naruto. But however, he still needs to write reports about Naruto, and he wants to write good things about Naruto. However, he can't if he doesn't try as hard. Naruto said that, you know, even if Iruka, you know, wrote good things about him, the villagers and you know, the other shinobi just wouldn't care, and they would try their best to just make Naruto's life harder. And you know, Naruto just doesn't really care about, you know, what other people think about him. It's about he will show people, you know, what he's capable of. when it's truly needed. And anyways, now Iruka understands and he wants to, well, learn more about Naruto, and they actually get closer like this. Iruka is actually the first adult that actually acknowledges Naruto, and Naruto would basically spend a lot of his time with Iruka and Tsuki, and eventually, Naruto, Iruka, when Naruto's birthday came around, same as Menma's, everyone would celebrate Menma's except for two people. Well, actually four this time, because Choji and Shikamaru actually became really good friends with Naruto and Tsuki, and Naruto actually enjoyed the spending time with these guys. Anyways, everyone was wishing Menma a happy birthday, as Naruto was just standing, at the compound, and Naruto wouldn't really go home. He was just there because, he just had to be. As he goes home every once in a while to just show that he's still alive, and Minato still looks for him sometimes here and there, just to make sure that he's still alive, because he is the Jinchuriki of the Naruto's, their weapon, and what Menma will be, controlling eventually. And then now Naruto would just be sitting there as Iruka would tell him to follow him, as they would go towards Ichiraku Ramen, and everyone would throw a surprise party for Naruto, as these guys actually liked Naruto a lot, and Kakashi would actually be there, as Kakashi realized that Naruto was always ignored by his parents, and he actually enjoyed spending time with Naruto, as Naruto was actually smart, and he reminded Naruto reminded him a lot of himself, and he also saw how when he's serious, he looks a lot more like Obito as well. And this made him made him want to know more about Naruto, and eventually he would ask Iruka a lot about him, and obviously Naruto would ask why Kakashi says he thought that he's meant to be at Menma's birthday, and Kakashi just says, I just sent a clone there. I don't really care about that brat. He's always been very annoying, especially when I have to train him. However, I can't really deny my sensei, can I? Naruto would just laugh, at Kakashi's laziness, and Kakashi and the rest basically would have a good time celebrating Naruto's birthday, as Ichiraku Ramen would only be open for Naruto that day, as they actually really enjoy Naruto and enjoy Naruto's presence and in the village, and actually consider him as their favorite customer. And then now, as Naruto would go there once in a while with the money he saves up to actually eat there. If he could, he would eat there every day, but he just doesn't have the money, and they don't even charge him. All the money that he gives them, they're just saving it up so that Naruto could, so that one day they could just give it back to Naruto. And now, obviously, not Team 7. After that day, Naruto actually started being more friendly with the others, and smiling a lot more, which made Tsuki a lot more happy, as Naruto seemed a lot brighter. And then now the training continued, as Kakashi would actually begin training Naruto as well in secret. Naruto would learn a lot from Kakashi, and Tsuki would learn a lot as well, as Tsuki would now have the 3 Tomoe Sharingan in both eyes, and this was a few years after. Now they're like around the age of 12, and Naruto would be very strong, as Tsuki knows that Naruto has basically every chakra nature. She's seen wind release, she's seen lightning release, she's seen all the 5 chakra natures and more. She's seen ice release, she's seen lava release, she's seen steam release, and obviously wood release, as that's one of the first things that he actually showed off, and not showed off, but showed to Tsuki that he can do. And Tsuki was very, very impressed by Naruto. And then she has 4 chakra natures of her own, so she's no slouch either. And then now Itachi would still be sent on a mission to infiltrate the Akatsuki, as they could be a threat according to Jiraiya, and Itachi was gladly actually went to infiltrate them. And Shisui in this way still would die as per normal. However, there wasn't enough proof about to frame Danzo, because Shisui would have killed himself beforehand before telling the Hokage, and Shisui said just keep his eyes safe and protect the Leaf Village, as and the Leaf and the Uchiha clan, as he would then give his life up. And now Naruto, who is now 12 years old, he would actually pass the academy test and show to Iruka that he wasn't lying. And then now, as everyone was celebrating, Naruto, he was actually just celebrating with his little small friend group. And this time around, is actually a bit bigger, as Kiba and Shino would actually join them, and even Sakura would join them because Ino was there, and they were like best of friends in this way. Although they were still like after Menma and Sasuke, they still joined them as Menma was actually training, and he was celebrating with his parents, and then Hinam. They were all at Ichiraku Ramen as the fourth Hokage's family would arrive, and they would notice Naruto, and Minato would say, "Naruto, you passed the academy. That's very good." Now, but you still didn't come first as rookie of the year, as clearly Menma was the rookie of the year. And anywho, now Naruto just doesn't care, as he was considered the dead last. And anyways, now, however, Menma wasn't just the only rookie of the year, because he was tied with Sasuke and Tsuki. And anywho, now, obviously the teams were announced the next day, and here there would be an addition to the academy. The Sai would actually join the academy, as Minato was able to bring him out of the route, as he's still trying to get rid of the route. Although Minato is not a good parent, he's still an okay Hokage. But anywho, now, Kushina would actually be the team leader of Team 7, as Sasuke, the prodigy of the Uchiha clan, and Menma and Sakura were put into one team, as Sai, Naruto, and Tsuki were put into another one. And the Team 7 would actually be Naruto's team, as Team 11 would actually be, Menma's team, and Kushina would be the joining team leader of Team 11, and Naruto's team leader would actually be Kakashi, as Kakashi would have actually asked to train Tsuki and Naruto, and Hokage was confused on why not his other, he was kind of, angry because Kakashi didn't want to teach Menma, but Kakashi said that he's taught both of them in the past, and Minato asked that, has he taught Naruto, and he nodded yes, as Naruto is actually one of his best students, the best student that he's ever taught, and he's trying to put a good name in for Naruto. And obviously Kakashi was scolded by Minato, saying that he should be teaching the child of prophecy, being one that actually molds him into the strongest shinobi ever. However, Kakashi would say, "Look, listen, I understand he's the child of prophecy and everything. However, I don't really believe in this kind of stuff, and I believe Naruto will be a great shinobi. If you don't believe it, I do. And anyway, I would like to be assigned to Team 7 and teach Team 7. Obviously, Kakashi would actually still arrive late, as Team 7 would be the last one out, and they would introduce each other as they would introduce themselves. And anywho, now, Naruto and Sai would. Naruto and Sai would actually click off straight away, as Sai had a similar personality to Naruto at the beginning of this wave, very silent, quiet, and Sai would say that he just wants to be a great shinobi, and his likes are his brother, and his dislikes are just people who hurt his loved ones. And then Naruto says that his likes are training and people that he loves, and obviously Sai's goal is actually being a great shinobi, like I said before, and Naruto's dislikes are people who hate him and don't really know who he truly is, and his goal in life is to be acknowledged by the whole shinobi world as the strongest shinobi ever. And anyway, Tsuki would say that basically her likes and dislikes are the same as Naruto's, and her goal in life is to become a great kunoichi and one day start her own family. And anywho, now, looking towards Naruto, and Naruto doesn't really realize this, being oblivious as usual. And anywho, now, Kakashi would tell them that there is a test tomorrow, and Team 7 would arrive the next morning, and Kakashi would tell them not to eat, and they would actually listen. And then the teamwork test, or the bell test, would begin, and as per normal, as everyone was hungry, and they were, this was so that Kakashi could show them how it is to fight in a war or in a mission where the enemy ninja won't give them time for for breakfast or lunch or dinner. They would just attack whenever, and in their eyes, when they're most vulnerable is the best time to attack them. Anyways, now, the three of them would actually work really well together. Sai using Sai using his Super B scroll to actually help the other two and support them, being more of a supporting character in this being more of a support here, as the other two were the heavy hitters, and Naruto actually knew how to heal people in this wave, so he would be like the healer and the sensor. So Naruto would be like the real support, as the other two would be all of them. Basically, what I'm trying to say is that all three of them are really heavy hitters, and Naruto would be, a very heavy hitter and also support. Naruto is just an overall very, very fucking OP shinobi, and anywho, the team would be able to take the bells, and the one who takes the bells is actually Sai, and Sai would give both bells to the other two teammates, as the other two were the ones who actually fought Kakashi and actually put up a really good fight. Naruto would have used a lot of shadow clones and used a lot of his he would have particularly liked using ice release in in this fight, and Kakashi already knew about Naruto's ice release techniques, and he was actually surprised on how well and Naruto has gotten to using these. And anything now, Naruto is pretty much Jonin level here, same as Tsuki, except for Sai. Sai is actually Chunin level, as the other two were Jonin level, but no one really knows, and Sai will get there, and through the right guidance. And Kakashi says that they will be training every single day after doing 4 missions, as they need to do 4 every single day so they can get a C rank as fast as possible, because they're going to be doing a D rank for the next month. However, that is where I'm going to end it off. I hope you enjoyed it. Please stay safe. This was the King Weebs there, and my voice might have been a bit different here because I'm actually ill today, if you haven't realized, but I'm on the grind to revive my channel somehow, and I will revive it eventually. I know it's quite dead right now, but anyways, I hope you'll enjoy it. Please stay safe. This was the King Weaves, and peace.